cheek to cheek. Charmin Booty Smile.
Charmin Ultra Soft is softer than ever. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Your opinion matters.
with 2 years left on their contract extensions. Generally, the holdouts and the discussion happens a year before it expires. It wouldn't be this offseason, it would be the following offseason. These two players they've got handy. They've got ability to negotiate, and now is a good time to do it. And the Lions do have cap space. Historically, the two things that stand out that the decision making historically is terrible. They don't get every decision wrong, but the percentage of decisions that they make that are right when compared to the other 31 organizations is going to be one of the lowest percentages in the league. And that's why they don't win. And I'm talking about all decisions, from what coaches to hire, what players to draft, what free agents to sign, which players to extend, which players to let walk. They don't get every decision wrong. I would bet that their hit rate is probably at about 35 to 40% of decisions they make that are clearly the right decision. And I bet the best teams in the league are probably, 60 to 65% right. So the Lions historically, I'm pulling those numbers out of thin air, but you get the point. They'll be at the bottom of the league when it comes to making the correct decision. They also have an issue with keeping star players happy. We have, honestly, two of the most high-profile, if not the two most high-profile cases of star players walking away from the game, where Detroit Lions fans can't help but think that this organization sucked the life right out of them. Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
It's happened elsewhere. But when you put together the list of players that walked away from the game while they could still play, that perhaps was because of the organization, our guys are right near the top. Right near the top.
Well, those two players, yeah, but they didn't play after that. You know what I mean?
No, but that's sort of the point. Is that, yeah, they would rather not play than play with the Lions. Now, maybe that's a small part of it, but reality is we do not have a history of keeping, we have a bad history of keeping star players happy. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess I see this as a very, very tricky one for them to handle. And do you think they're going to do the right thing? And I don't even know what the right thing is. I feel like the fans kind of have Lions back up.
I think it goes both ways. They've done it both ways. I think they've given money to some players that they probably shouldn't have. They gave giant contract to Scott Mitchell. Before that, they gave a big contract to Charlie Batch that they didn't have to. Charlie Batch was under contract, but they gave him a much bigger deal. They've signed free agents to bigger contracts than we thought they should. They've done that, and they've got one plan of winning 60 years to show for it. It's they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. I think that you just gotta keep making decisions how you would make decisions and not dwell on the past and saying that that's the reason it's going to go wrong this time. At some point, it's going to turn around. You're going to make the right decision. It's going to pay off. I don't know what the right decision is with these two guys. This is a really confusing one because they are 2 years away from free agency. I'll still go to bat and say, okay, I think it's wrong of these guys to try to hold out now or try to renegotiate now because it is 2 years left. I get it. You want to negotiate before you enter the last year of the contract? Go ahead and do that. So this offseason, work hard to get that. But they're doing it now, and it's a giant risk for them to take if they decide to take the next step, which would be holding out. I mean, Le'Veon Bell, did it work out for him? It worked out in the sense he got the free agency. It didn't necessarily work out where he got paid this huge sum of money more than what he was being offered to stay in Pittsburgh. So it's tricky to negotiate this. It really is. And for these two guys, at their point in their careers, and looking, there's a lot of moving parts to this whole thing. The collective bargaining agreement coming up in the NFL, and what does that mean for contracts? How is that going to change things in the future? And if these guys want to be here, they've got a new coach that they're contending with. They don't like this coach. They want to play in this regime or this organization. There's a lot that goes on there. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I think that the right thing to do is probably say, look, we're at least meet with the guys and say, we understand what you're saying, and we're more than willing to talk with you about an extension after the season. But this is 2 years left, and 2 years left, it's just not going to happen.
248-539-9797. So you are leaning towards hardlining them and just telling them, no, we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
I am too. I am too. And in large part because I think the only thing I would offer them is I wouldn't offer them any longer term. I'd say, okay, I'll give you a little bit more money, especially Harrison. And I don't know why this matters to me, but it does, and I'm trying to figure out why. Because the Lions didn't negotiate his contract. It wasn't the Lions and Harrison at a table coming to an agreement together. It was Harrison and Harrison's camp with another organization coming to an agreement on his contract. I feel like that one, on principle, feels like the Lions, in a good faith effort at doing business with a new employee who basically came to his employment terms with another organization, it makes sense. I feel like the guy in Slay who signed, we sat across the table, we negotiated this, you agreed, we agreed. I feel like, okay, that one I would struggle with them going back to the table. Now, when we did this a couple weeks ago and asked which player the fans want re-signed more, it was Harrison.
Well, and frankly, Harrison has the better case for trying to get the next contract or the extension. He's got that over Slay, and by a landslide, I think. But there's a lot of pressure right now, and the fact that Rosenhaus, their agent, is coming up north to meet with them. Rosenhaus just negotiated a giant contract for his client in Atlanta, the linebacker down there. Got a big contract there. He's riding high and probably thinks he's got some momentum going here, and who knows? I mean, when all is said and done, maybe the Lions do sign both two extensions, and they come out afterwards and say, you know what, with the collective bargaining agreement coming up, we thought this was best for both parties, and we just want everybody to be happy.
All right, 248-539-9797. Do you give these players what they want? Do you hardline them, or is there an in-between? 248-539-9797. It's Carson Anderson. The breaking news today is that Drew Rosenhaus is coming to Detroit, the agent for Darius Slay and Damon Harrison, to meet with the Lions. Later, any buzz coming out of rookie training camp, we'll pass it along. 97.1.
Are you trying to sell your home on your own and avoid paying those costly realtor fees? Folks, it's Mark Zine, and I have a flexible commission plan that allows you to find the buyer while I still market your home. This will save you thousands of dollars. I'm not bragging. I'm applying for the job. Call me, Mark Zine, today at 844-SOLD-BY-ZINE. Start packing.
Sarah in July and immerse yourself in Cadillac style, comfort, and design. And take advantage of amazing made-to-move lease offers like these. For $299 a month, you can move into a luxury collection 2019 XT5 or the extraordinary 2019 luxury collection all-wheel drive CTS. Your choice, just $299 a month. Plus, good news. Cadillac lease program continues. Get out of your current Cadillac lease and Sarah will waive up to 4 remaining payments. Up to $2,000. Get up to $3,000 if you're coming out of a 2016 or 17 Escalade and leasing a 2019 Escalade. Shop our inventory at DriveSarahCadillac.com. Better yet, come see us now during our made-to-move sales event at Sarah Cadillac, M53 and 30 Mile, right on the corner. For a world-class Cadillac experience like no other. Remember, you can drive a car or you can drive a Cadillac.
We apologize for this Walmart grocery pickup commercial. Because while you can't see the groceries I'll describe, my words may make your stomach growl loud. Get the baby carrots you crunch and the sweet ripe berries that make your mouth water. And now you can order online and get free curbside pickup, freshness guaranteed. So pick up these delicious things without even leaving your car. Sorry, that was my stomach. Walmart grocery pickup, $30 minimum. Restrictions apply. If you're unhappy with your order, contact customer care for a refund.
At Indeed, we believe a resume is a great way to see an overview of a candidate. But you're not hiring a resume, you're hiring a person. That's why Indeed offers tools that help bridge the gap between a candidate and a resume. Like skill tests, which let you actually see a candidate's abilities in action to make sure they're a good fit for the job. See beyond the resume with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Whether it's a job interview or a first date, Lady Jane's in Washington Township will make sure you look great for whatever sign the plate. Get a precision haircut, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment for just $14. Lady Jane's on Van Dyke, just off the 26 Mile across from Target. It's wicked awesome.
Tomorrow night, 7 till 9, 97.1 The Tickets. Jeff Rieger will be at the 5th Avenue Ballroom in Novi. You could win a spot to play on the Miller Lite Field of Dreams Wednesday, September 18th. Stop by for all the specials and fun. Get more at 971theticket.com.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Tempura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
If you can't say it loud and proud, at least say it loud. 97.1 The Ticket.
Talking about this Lions stuff with the news being reported today from Dave Burkett that Drew Rosenhaus is coming to Detroit, and he is the agent that represents both Darius Slay and David Harrison. And, the Lions have cap space. It's an organization that's struggled. They probably have two of the most high-profile cases of keeping star players happy that walked away from the game. I don't think either of these guys are going to walk away from it, but history is not on their side of being the most competent NFL organization, and yet, renegotiating with 2 years left on a deal is also kind of out of the box. What's the right call here? Feedback coming in right now, all kinds of it. Fact that they still haven't given Calvin his money back speaks to volumes of how low-level trash organization the Lions really are. Well, okay, I'm not quite sure what that has to do with what's next, and what they should do here. Right? Does this have anything to do with trying to figure out what that has to do with what the debate point is moving forward? We can revisit the whole Calvin thing, but Scott writes in, it would honestly be a huge mistake to sign either one of them now, not because of the players, but because of the organizational precedent you set. Future players will cite this as to why they too need an early new contract. That's a problem. Stafford needs to restructure his contract, period, end of story. I'm not going to disagree with that. I really, really hope. Now, what they don't need right now is money. I don't know that I would have Stafford do it for this purpose. I would have Stafford do it when an all-pro starting left guard becomes available and they need some money. Now, don't at me. I don't know who the all-pro starting left guard is. I'm just pointing. I'm pointing out that I want Stafford to renegotiate to make the team better. And that go to that well when it's going to bring in a difference-making player that perhaps put the Lions over the top. I don't know that I would go to that well now because I actually have some cap space.
Yeah, I would not, but my reasoning is different because I've given up on Stafford being the guy, so I don't need to. I don't know if they need to do anything with his contract. Because I'll probably be moving on from him as soon as I can.
But let me just ask you this then, because it's still the point, it stands to reason that getting him to renegotiate, would you get him to renegotiate now? Because if you can't move on from him, or you draft a quarterback next year and the guy's not ready and you still have Matthew Stafford, would you renegotiate over this, or would you renegotiate over a big free agent signing that can make a difference?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure how this all works with the finances of it. It's knowing that he's not the guy that I think is going to be here for the future, so I'm going to try to move him. And if I'm going to try to move him probably after the season, is renegotiating the contract now, is that going to help me or hurt me down the line after I've traded him in the offseason? So that's what my number one concern would be. That's if I renegotiate his contract or not. Is it going to help my team 2 years from now? That's my focus. Because right now, it's not my focus. We're going to go with the team we have, see what's going out there, and I don't expect great things out of it, and we're going to move on.
Here's an interesting one that makes some sense. This guy writes in, Doug, that's not right. Calvin retired because his body was destroyed, not because of the organization. The money issue with the bonuses left a negative ending. You're more right than wrong. I think it's easier to walk away from the Lions than it is to walk away from a team you think you might win a Super Bowl the next year. And there's no doubt that Calvin was beat up. Would Calvin have stayed if Calvin thought, this team is going to perennially compete for Super Bowls? And this is, they were competing. I think it would have been much harder for Calvin to walk away under those circumstances, and he might have toughed out another year or two, but you're right. Pay snacks, but Slay is overrated and not that good. Slay isn't worth the extension. Well, this is kind of the catch-22 of this situation. Perhaps, hold on. Maybe I can use the term that I never was good at using.
All right.
Harrison and Slay are both holding out. If you give one
They're not holding out.
Well, they're right. One new contracts. If you give one of them a new contract and not the other one, and they're both represented by the same agent, you're going to have one really unhappy camper, and therein lies the rub.
Okay.
Did I use that
I think it works.
But do you get the point? I mean,
Yes.
How do you go to Drew Rosenhaus and say, we're cool with Harrison, but we're not with Slay? And Rosenhaus is going to say, so I'm supposed to go out publicly and say, we got Damon Harrison a new contract, but not Darius Slay. Do you know how bad that's going to look?
It's going to be tough. But that's Drew Rosenhaus's problem. Because he's the one who represents both players. And look, I'm sure this is not the first time it's happened. It won't be the last time it's happened. Because how many agents are there in the NFL? I mean, there's a limited number.
There's 87.
There are 87? Yeah. And they obviously represent multiple people. When they get two people on the same team and their contracts
They want the same thing. Well, let's go to Gary in Northville. You're nice. I want to take it. Hi, Gary.
Hey guys, I'm actually driving out listening to Grand Rapids, listening to you guys, and I was thinking, Drew Rosenhaus is known for this kind of tactic, and I was thinking and wondering what your guys' thoughts were on, the Lions are under a great deal of pressure to win this year. Everybody knows that. I think that if they don't win, heads could roll, believe it or not, after Pierce's second year. I think you guys have said that, and I agree to be on thin ice. So hopefully